Hey everyone, cricket rock star Devo Tyrell Ordin here. So we're just about 2 weeks away till the start of the 2025 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League that's taking place all across the Caribbean. And in this video, we'll be looking back at the 2024 edition where the Kings won the tournament for the first time. We're starting off with the St Kitts and Nevis Patriots as they finished at the bottom of the table last year. The 2021 winners finished with 2 points, 1 victory and 9 defeats. For the third consecutive season now, the Patriots have had yet another abysmal season, managing just 1 victory out of all of its 10 matches throughout the entire league phase. They finished well adrift of the other teams and were the weakest side in the competition, or should I say tournament. BTW, I must admit that since their introduction in the 2015 Caribbean Premier League, they have been, out of all the teams, they have been the worst dismal team, except for in 2017, 2018, and 2021, where they made the playoffs on all 3 occasions, where in 2021 they won the title for the first time on home soil. Moving from 6th to 5th now, the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in their debut season of the CPL, who replaced the defunct Jamaica Talwas, finished in 5th position with 6 points, 3 victories and 7 defeats. Overall, unlike the Patriots, who have been dismal, they were inconsistent throughout the season despite some brilliances in between, and unfortunately in their inaugural season they couldn't have been competitive, unlike the other teams who we are going to get to now. They did finish with 6 points compared to the Patriots, who only finished with 2. It could have been none on the whole had they didn't beat what they call them away from home. The Barbados Royals now, who did finish 4th. Now I thought at one point they was going to end up in the top 2. Now the Barbados Royals, who were the 2-time winners in 2014 and 2019, had a very strong 2024 CPL campaign, finishing in 4th position with 10 points, 5 victories and 5 defeats. And why I'm saying strong is because they started off the campaign winning their first 5 out of 6 matches, therefore becoming the first team to qualify for the playoffs and secure the top 4. However, after securing their place in the playoffs, they went from first place to 4th, and according to some of the experts, there's an old saying that says, when it rains, it pours. They did, however, pull off an unexpected victory over the Trinbago Knight Riders in the Eliminator following the floodlight drama, but couldn't overcome the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the second qualifier, in which the winner went through to the final, in which was the Warriors. Now, I thought at one stage after that rollicking start that the Barbados Royals had to their campaign, they would have been unbeatable throughout the season. Then in that middle to the back end phase of the league phase, they started to become a bit complacent and did lose a few matches there. Moving from the Royals to the Trinbago Knight Riders, the 4-time champions in 2015, 2017, 2018 and 2020, just like with the Royals, also had a strong season, finishing in 3rd place with 14 points, 7 victories and 3 defeats, behind the Guyana Amazon Warriors, who ended up becoming the runners-up, and the St Lucia Kings, who went on to become the champions on net run rate. Why I'm saying net run rate is because Knight Riders, Amazon and the Kings all ended up on 14 points, but it was Warriors that finished on top, Kings 2nd and Knight Riders 3rd. Sadly, the Trinbago Knight Riders campaign came to an unexpected end in the Eliminator, where they lost to the Royals in a match which was marked by a floodlight failure that delayed the match for more than 2 hours and curtailing the Royals' run chase to just 5 overs, where they ended up chasing the 60 runs in 4.2 to make the next qualifier. Nicholas Puran was not only TKR's leading run scorer, but also he was at the top of the charts both in the runs tally and in the 6 hitting competition throughout the season. The Guyana Amazon Warriors, who were the runners-up in 2024, came into the 2024 season as the defending champions after a successful 2023 campaign, which they did defeat the Knight Riders in the final comfortably after losing 5 finals between 2013 all the way to 2019. the Amazon Warriors campaign was very dominant. They did finish at the top of the table on a better net run rate with the same 14 points that the Kings and TKR had. And even though they did finish at the top, they did lose to the Kings in the first qualifier. And one thing I must say before I get to that, they did finish at the top with a better net run rate despite their season getting off to a typical flyer to go along with a couple of defeats in between during the league phase. They did, however, show resilience to make yet another CPL final after losing the first qualifier to the Kings, who they did lose to twice in the knockout phase of the competition. First in the qualifier on Dock with Lewis, and then in the final. Shemron Heckmeyer was the Warriors' leading run scorer in 2024. The St Lucia Kings had a fairy tale 2024 season, finishing in the top 3 but placed second on net run rate. Truth must be told, they were very consistent right throughout the campaign and peaked at the right time in the playoffs to secure their first to reach the CPL final for the third time, where they won the title for the first time, defeating the Royals in the finals. And they had key players such as Johnson Charles, Fab du Plessis, who was the captain, Roston Chase, and Aaron Jones, along with Nur Ahmed the Afghan, who, by the way, went on to become the player of the tournament as he was the leading wicket taker throughout the campaign. Now, I must be honest with the St Lucia Kings. When CPL started in 2013, them along with the defunct Antigua and Barbuda Hawksbill were the weakest teams in the history of the CPL. Then came the Patriots, who still are weak despite reaching the playoffs a couple of times.